What's up, chaps? Welcome to another episode of Van's Realism. And today we're going to be talking about some weight loss tips, how you can drop the weight without really having to count calories. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I've actually made a script for a change, and I'm actually reading from my laptop here below the phone. So let's get into it. Let's get into the scripts. Life's not scripted, by the way. It's just this video is scripted. So you've reached a weight loss plateau, or you have a stubborn yet generous belly that you can't seem to shake in the way that you want to. Worry not, for Van Wheeler has the answers that you are looking for. I've been reducing my weight gradually over the last 2 and a bit months, and what I've discovered is that you can get used to eating less than you did before, yet still be productive, strong in the bedroom, and smashing out turbo washing machine watts. It really comes down to changing your daily habits and sticking to them consistently. It will require some willpower initially, so be sure not to waste your willpower on other things, since willpower is a finite resource. Now, an important concept to understand is that it's a balance between eating too little and eating too much. You eat what you need and no more. It's like filling up a car with gas. Too much and the excess gas falls on the floor and goes to waste. Too little and the car can't go the distance. Just right and nothing goes to waste and you're doing 1,000 kilometers. Right, I messed up one word in the script, so I'm retaking it. I've seen a lot of fat cunts in the high carb vegan community, and I've always wondered why they stay that way despite drinking liters of Sprite and eating mountains of rice. The answer is quite obvious. They got used to endless carbs without the endless output that should be accompanying the input. I'm not saying sugar and complex carbs are bad, not at all. I'm saying that even with carbohydrates, there is a limit to how much you can eat and stay slim. With that being said, I haven't seen a single fat fruitarian. Those motherfuckers can eat 10 kilos of mangoes a day and still look like prisoners of war. Anyway, here are my 7 tips for gradual weight loss over the next few months, or however long it will take you.
What I do is I basically stop eating so much fucking food. I cut my calories down.
Some people need to drop 5 kilos, where others need to drop 50 kilos. If your running times, cycling watts, or lifting weights starts to go down, you know you need to up your calories. I don't recommend going below 20 BMI or body mass index for most people. So tip number 1, fruit for your first meal of the day. This is a healthy habit to have, and it helps you to take a shit on a regular basis. If you aren't going for number 2 at least once a day, then you know you need to increase your fruit intake. Fruit for the first meal of the day also helps you to feel light and sharp. Don't be scared to add sugar to the fruit if it isn't sweet enough. Simple sugar is power, my brew. Tip number 2, quit snacking. Have 3 meals instead. So being a serial snacker is the easiest way to pack on the pounds, since you're just mindlessly eating whatever you have in sight. When you already have your meals planned out, then you know that you eat when it's time to eat. This will also go a long way to avoid overeating as you allow your stomach to stretch at mealtime. Tip number 3, if you feel hypoglycemic, then have fruit or sugar. I know that I said to have 3 meals, but if you feel like you're bonking at some point, have a bit of fruit or sugar and you'll be ready to charge on in no time. Sugar goes well mixed with some water, but some of you might prefer to have a lean candy or fruit juice, which is fine too. If you bonk, you become useless to yourself and to those you love. So don't allow yourself to look and feel like a juice faster. You're better than that.
Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Have sugar before training. Tip number 4. Having some form of sugar before training helps to put down extra watts. I personally like to have 100 grams of sugar before an intense workout, but juice is fine too. I don't like juice personally. Okay, this is not in the script. I don't like juice personally, but juice is fine too. The point is to keep the stomach as light as possible so you can breathe properly and keep digestion energy demands minimal. Exceptions are longer rides or easier rides. For a long endurance pace ride, have a big breakfast before, and for an easy ride, you'll be fine if you don't eat anything. Tip number 5, a smaller dinner. Provided you eat enough throughout the day and you fuel during your workouts, a small dinner is a great way to drop the excess weight if the other tips alone aren't enough. The reason why eating less for dinner works well is because you are at the end of your day in terms of output, and your body will most easily be able to convert your fat stores to glycogen for the next day. If you go to bed slightly hungry, then you're doing it right. I recommend eating no less than 50% of the calories of your breakfast or lunch meals for your dinner meal. Tip number 6, consume calories during longer workouts. So for any training over 2 hours, it's wise to fuel so that you don't feel like a wreck when you get home. Have 4 calories per kilo of body weight for easy activities, 5 calories per kilo of body weight for moderate activities, and 6 calories per kilo of body weight for hard activities. I don't recommend more than 500 calories per hour, since the human body seems to have an energy conversion and storage limit of about 400 calories per hour. Number 7, eat tasty shit when you feel like it. So you want pizza, a burger, an ice cream, or a bag of crisps. Vegan, of course. Habits. It's already hard enough to stay disciplined with the other things, so having treats on a daily basis helps to keep you on track and to actually enjoy your food. The key is to be reasonable and not have 5 burgers for lunch. 1 is enough. Make them a part of your main meals, or make them one of your main meals. Tip number 8, if you feel like pigging out, then do it on fruit or potatoes. Maybe you might reach a point where you're ravenous and you just want to eat a crazy amount of food. If you do it on fruit or potatoes, it'll still be tasty, but you won't end up overeating. So that's it. These are some simple tips for dropping the weight without counting calories for the most part. Weight loss isn't complicated, and you don't need an expensive nutrition plan or coach to do it. All you need is a bit of discipline.